Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT. You upload documents, ask questions, and get answers. But then what? The conversation ends and the documents disappear. Next week, you need to analyze those same files again and you're starting from zero. NotebookLM, however, is different. It's an AI tool that keeps all your documents in one place and remembers everything about them. Upload your files once, ask questions whenever you want for as long as you want. No re-uploading and no re-explaining. It's great for learning complex topics, from pulling insights from big reports, and for keeping all your research in one place that you can refer to at any time, rather than having it scattered across many different chats. So today I'm going to show you how to use NotebookLM to its best effect. I'll show you what it is, how to set it up, and how to use it so you can save multiple hours every week. If you're new to the channel, my name is Cian and I am the AI productivity coach. I've taught thousands of people how to use AI effectively, so if this sounds like you, please be sure to subscribe and join me on this journey. But let me kick off by explaining what NotebookLM actually is. So you may be more familiar with general chatbots like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Copilot, and all those likes. So with these regular AI chatbots, you can upload a document, ask a few questions, get good answers, then you close the chat or start a new conversation. A week later, you need those same documents again. You're re-uploading everything, re-explaining what you're working on and starting from scratch. With NotebookLM, however, you upload your documents once into what they call a notebook. Think of it like a project folder. You can ask questions today, tomorrow, next month. The AI remembers everything in that folder. No re-uploading and no re-explaining. What it's actually good for: learning complex topics without rereading the same articles and guides every time. Comparing what 5 to 10 different documents say about the same subject. Keeping all your research on one topic organized so you can come back to it. And pulling specific insights out of documents you reference every week at work. So here's where you should choose NotebookLM. If you need a one-off answer from a document, you're fine using ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, or whichever one you prefer. If, however, you want to keep analyzing the same documents week over week, then you're better off using NotebookLM. Here's a framework that I like using, and it's called the 3-project rule. You basically pick your 3 largest repetitive document tasks and create a notebook for each one of them in NotebookLM. Basically, these are the repetitive tasks where you need to keep rereading the same document or keep prompting AI about the same documents over and over. So instead of uploading them every time you prompt, you have them in a notebook and you can just prompt it with all the documents there each time you need to come back to it. So it's not 10 massive projects, nor is it one project with all the context. You just need 3 focus projects where you actually repeat tasks. But let me show you how to actually set up your first notebook. Okay, so you can head over to notebooklm.google.com and click Create New Notebook. Now here comes the important decision. What documents do you upload? So I'm going to take a real example. I'm basically learning about AI agents, how they work, how to build them, and what the limitations are. I'm going to show you how to upload them. So I'm going to choose 2 reports. So one is a guide on agents and one is a state of AI agents report. And so I simply drag them in and you can see I've got it there. I'm going to just name my notebook Agents Strategy, something like that. And then, so that's an example of just uploading a PDF. Similarly, you could upload a Word doc, a sheet, a Google Doc. You can always go back to this top section here in the sources and add sources this way. So I'm actually going to add a link to my Google Drive. Basically, I have some notes that I have from AI agents research and you can insert it here. And I'm also going to add this YouTube video about don't learn AI agents with learning these fundamentals. So I can take the URL from the top here or just copy the link here. And again, I can add a source and just add the link here. So it has a YouTube section there. So I'm just going to insert this YouTube as well. So I'm just going to add 4 sources here, but you can actually upload up to 50 sources if you like per notebook. So it's easy to remove source, rename a source, whatever you want there. You can also search the web for new sources if you want in that little window there. One thing to note on documents as well is that each document can be up to 500,000 words. So plenty of context that you can bring in per document. And as I said, you can always come back and add more sources here. So even before prompting it, it already has a quick summary for me here based on the reports. And then it works like a classic AI tool that you can just prompt it down here at the bottom. So you can see here, I'm just going to quickly prompt it. What are the 3 main challenges in building reliable AI agents? And what solutions do these sources suggest? So it'll take a while to just go through all of the different sources. Once it's ready, you get a pretty detailed answer. Great thing about NotebookLM is that it actually cites all its sources. So you can see here with these little numbers by each of the answers, it tells you exactly where this is coming from and gives a quick insight. So when I click this, you can see on the top left, it goes exactly to where it's pulling that source. And it has the source guide here. So you can see even when I click this source 7 here, it's actually pulling from the YouTube video, and it's got the transcript there that outlines where it's pulled that from. And that took about 30 seconds. Manually reading these 4 documents to find an answer would probably take an hour at least. And you can, of course, re-prompt it. Can you suggest the... And the cool thing is that it's just pulling from those 4 sources. So if you've done your research on the sources, then it should only pull information from there, which is great if you want to just limit the amount of context that it's pulling from. And so even with the second prompt, it's given me a pretty good answer on what's the quickest way to build an agent. So what documents are best to use for what? PDFs work great for reports that don't change. So for example, quarterly earnings, competitor analysis, research studies. Google Docs work really well for documents that get updated. So it could be internal wikis, process guides, policy handbooks. And you can actually do a Google Docs integration. With the Google Docs, you can actually sync them to your Google Drive, which is helpful. So when you sync it, it will check the freshness of a document and make sure all the updates are constantly brought into the notebook. So using a Google Doc is really good when you have information that is being updated on a frequent basis. And then other things like YouTube links or websites are also good if you want to keep an eye on things that are happening on the web or externally. Now, I mentioned earlier, NotebookLM can handle up to 50 documents per notebook. That's actually the allowance on the free version. If you need more than that, you can pay for a better plan and get access to more documents per notebook. And even those 50 documents is way more than ChatGPT or Gemini can handle in one conversation. So basically, if you have a lot of context and you want to incorporate it into one space, NotebookLM is where you should go. More documents doesn't necessarily mean better results though. A notebook with 5 focused sources is way better than a really messy notebook with 30 or more sources. And just flag on the right hand panel here, there's a studio and you can generate some really cool other media to showcase all the stuff that you have in your sources. So for example, there's audio overview, video overview, mind maps, reports, quizzes, all those kind of things. I'll leave a link in the description and you might see it in the top right hand corner now that goes through these features in detail and how you can use them to your best. But for this video, just going to flag them. Feel free to play around with them yourself if you want. So very simple to set it up once you have all your sources and everything in one place. But a lot of people ask me, what can I actually use this for? So I'm just going to quickly show 3 really cool use cases that I have heard from friends and teammates of how they are using NotebookLM. Number 1 is competitive intelligence. So this is for anyone in sales, product, or marketing, basically anyone who needs to keep up to date with what other companies are doing with their product. So here are some examples of things that you can include. 1, competitor or websites, so you can just use their URLs. Your internal comparison docs, win-loss reports from previous deals, and product comparison sheets. Maybe you can also include a YouTube URL if someone's done a review on your product as well. So how can you use it? You can very quickly ask questions before sales calls, before submitting proposals, or when pricing comes up. Second use case is recurring analysis. So this could be for finance, operations, or basically anyone who has to submit a report every quarter or every month. What would you include? The financial quarterly reports, past reports for comparison, industry benchmarks, and maybe competitors' performance if you want. And then you can simply prompt it with things like what metrics have moved the most, or what contradictions exist across all these forecasts. It's a very quick way to do analysis based on the only context you want it to do analysis on. The final use case is a knowledge base. So this could be for legal, HR, or operations. Basically, it's for anyone who has to keep answering the same questions based on policy docs. So for example, this could include an employee handbook, policy documents, process guides, or common templates. And very simply, you could just upload all these docs to one space, and then whenever you have the question, it will find the answer for you. So 3 very simple use cases. Maybe it's not applicable to you, but it should start spurring some ideas for what you can use NotebookLM for. And just a flag, here's what you should not do using NotebookLM. This is where most people mess up. So mistake number 1 is putting every single document into one notebook. Don't do this. Make separate notebooks for different topics. The reason for this is that even though you can store many documents into one notebook, it does take time for it to search through everything to make sure it's giving a relevant answer. So you don't want to add too many documents to confuse it every time you prompt it. So for example, if you have that competitive research topic and you have the quarterly earnings topic, it's probably better to separate them. And then you can ask really specific questions to each of those notebooks when it's relevant. For example, you don't want to be giving competitors' numbers for your quarterly report. It might get confused. And as I said, a focus project with about 5 or so sources beats a massive project with over 30 sources every time. Mistake number 2 is thinking the podcast feature is the main reason to use NotebookLM. Now, a lot of you may have come to this video because you heard NotebookLM can create podcasts of 2 people talking about a document. And yes, it is a great feature, but there is so much more that you can do with NotebookLM than hear 2 random robots talking about your documents. I am a walker, so I like listening to things as I go, and the audio overview is a really good way to get insights from long reports so I can keep walking and keep my eyes up. But sometimes you just want a quick insight and you don't want to listen to a 30-minute podcast to get an answer to one thing that you're looking for. So if you came here for the podcast, then great. But make sure you try out all the other features before just deciding on the podcast one. And the third mistake that I see is uploading random documents just because you have them. As I said, you want to keep the context as narrow as possible to what you're trying to do. By uploading random documents, it might bring in context that you don't necessarily need for what you're trying to do. So be selective with your sources and you'll get way better results. Now you're ready to go set up your very first notebook. Let me know in the comments what you're using NotebookLM for. I'd love to hear what the use cases are and how you're seeing value from it. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll also link my newsletter in the description. I share weekly AI tips and tricks, so if you want to get more, make sure to subscribe using the link. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.